Hey friends, this is Dale Berkebile, and today is Mindful Monday. And so if you recall, with this video series, my whole point is to create some positivity and push some joy out into the world. And today we're going to talk about an interesting topic. So what is natural? Negativity or positivity? Yes.
I want that orange juice.
Okay, I'll get it in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that interruption. I have my little guy here. So, so what is natural, negativity or positivity? And usually with this episode, what I do is a reading or a little topic. Today, I'm going to go off the cuff. I'm going to just share some thoughts. And so we'll get into that in just a little bit here. Again, the purpose of this video is to add some positivity out in the world. That is my thoughts on hopefully we can add some positivity to your day. You can practice with us. We're going to do a meditation and a moment of gratitude. And I hope you'll join us for that. And my purpose in life is to challenge people so that challenge people to become innovative leaders so that we can change the world together. And I'm all about trying to create positive change in the world. And so this is one of the tools that I use to do that. Now, let's get into the lesson here. So what is natural? Positivity or negativity? What do you think? If you're watching, share in the comments what your thought is. Is there a natural state? Is it being positive or negative? Is it the same as pessimistic and optimistic? So what my thoughts were today is I would talk about this a little bit because I've been thinking of some of my own issues and challenges as I work on adding more positivity into my own life, trying to create more joy, more happiness, that sort of thing. But one of the things that I've realized in my studies of this stuff is there's what they call a happiness set point. And every person is a little bit different. And so there's sort of a sliding scale of where your natural state of happiness is. So, for example, let's say you win the lottery, right? You're like, yeah, woo. You're thinking you're great. You're super happy, super excited, and on a very high level of happiness and excitement, right? Well, typically within a year, you will come back to whatever set point you have, your happiness set point. You'll come back to that. You'll be that happy as you were before you won the lottery. And so even though something amazing happened, you'll come back to that happiness set point. Now, the same is true if you have an accident, or a loss. You will grieve and you will struggle in that time, but give it a year or 6 months or whatever it is, and you will come back to that set point. So you go from the negative side of things to your typical happiness set point. Now, you may be on the high side of happiness, and I may be on the low side of happiness, or vice versa. And we will always come back to our happiness set point. This is one idea. And in this, we have that kind of is about 50% of our mood, and 10% of our mood is sort of related to whatever happens in life, whatever situations or circumstances come out in life. And then the last 40% is how we react or respond to what life gives us, what our happiness set point is, and that sort of thing. So, it's an interesting concept to think about because you may wonder, is this something you can change? You feel like you are always either on the positive or negative side of happiness or where you want to be, or thinking about joy. And let me give you an example in my own life. So I use Insight Timer as my one of my meditation apps that I use. And I think earlier this year, I think it's only been for about a year, they added a "What's your mood? How are you feeling?" kind of question before you get into your meditation. And so over time, there's I think there's like 5 different levels. So there's like, I don't know, bad, um, you know, uh, kind of bad, okay, kind of happy, and then happy, or something like that. And those aren't the accurate titles, but that's kind of the general idea. So there's 5. There's a middle ground that's okay, and there's a positive, a middle positive, a negative, and a middle negative. And so in my own life, I often hit the okay, or kind of good, kind of happy, or whatever. So I kind of go between those two like very frequently. So to me, that's sort of where my happiness set point probably is. And then once in a while, I have like a really, well, I don't even know if I've ever had great, like, yeah, this is amazing. Um, and I don't think I've ever had, I might have had 1 or 2 on the mildly negative side. But for the most part, I'm kind of like on the middle to higher range. Now, some of you that know me may think that, that I'm a positive guy, or maybe you think I'm a negative guy, whatever it is. That may not really resonate with you, or may think that it's off. I don't know. But the interesting thing is, on a regular basis, my wife comes home and she asks me, "How was your day?" And, as I think about this over time, I often say, "I don't know," or "okay." And then I will go into some sort of rant about the day, or different things like that. And it gets me to thinking, is negativity or positivity a natural state? Can we change it if we fall on the pessimistic side or the optimistic side? Can we change that at all? Uh, because do we want to be, more positive or more negative? And I think that for me, when I had depression almost a decade ago, my goal was to add more positivity into my life. Um, and so but when I'm talking to my wife, I can remember a handful of times where I was like, "Great, man, today kicked ass. I did da 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 da, got all this stuff done. It was amazing." Right? Um, but it makes me think, it makes me ask the question, is happiness and joy learned? Are they something that you can get better at with practice? Is it a skill? Is it a trait that you can hone and master? Hey, it looks like we have, let's see here. We have Wax is in the house. Hey, buddy, thanks for joining us today. Joining me today. I appreciate it. Um, so anyhow, you know, the other thing to ask is, are these things, negativity, positivity, uh, optimism, pessimism, is this stuff conditioned? Is it something that we learned through those that we hang around? Um, and if we look at little kids versus adults, are little kids naturally always happy if they have all their needs met? Um, Something to think about. Are these things conditioned beliefs, actions, reactions to whatever we deal with in life? And is that 40% that I talked about earlier, that is what we have control over, how we react or respond? Is that something that can actually have an effect on this stuff? Um, Here's the thing. At the end of the day, we all have suffering, right? All of us are going to have suffering at some point or another. And how do we deal with that? When we look at people, I've been talking about joy recently, and I've been thinking about that over the last week or so. And, uh, and, you know, it makes me think about the Dalai Lama. So the Dalai Lama has been in exile for like 50, pushing 60 years, I think, if I recall the right time frame. And the funny thing about that, he's been exiled from his country. He's not allowed to go back to his country. And so he's been, living in Dharamsala and just kind of making his way really since he was a little kid. And he was taken from his parents when he was 2 to to become the Dalai Lama. And so he didn't have regular parental connection or love or support or different things like that. And so was he conditioned? Of course, we're all conditioned, right? But that guy has had sort of a rough life. And how did he become, one of the happiest guys on earth? I think that some of this is because of practice, because of study and practice and understanding emotions and how to respond in a positive way. I think it can all be learned. I think we can reprogram our conditioning. We don't have to be stuck in whatever. And this kind of goes back to a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, right? So someone in a fixed mindset feels they are stuck and they cannot be any better than they are today. This is what they were given, and that's it. There's never going to be anything they can do to change. Someone in a growth mindset is always about learning, continually learning to improve and change and just kind of study things and whatever, and knows that I can make mistakes now, but that doesn't define who I am. And I can improve next time and it'll be better. And I can improve next time. And they're okay with making mistakes because it's an opportunity to learn and grow. Right. But that person on the fixed mindset side of things, they don't want that. They don't want to. They don't want to do the work. They don't believe that doing work will change things, and so they stick with where they're at, what they know. On some levels, they may become those know-it-alls. They know it all. They're always right, and they're not willing to change or budge on any beliefs, actions, or reactions, responses, and that sort of thing. So anyhow, I think we can grow. I think that we can practice things like happiness. We can study things like happiness. We can study things like joy uh, and passion and different things like that. And we can practice those things. And the more we practice those things, the more we master the skill set. And so it takes time, but it's something to think about. And as I was reflecting on this idea today, so I look at my responses in Insight Timer, where I fall. Is that just a happiness set point? Can I move that up and improve that? I think about, I had a conversation with my wife this morning about, when she asked me how my day was, excuse me, what's my first response? Can I change that? Should I think about that a little bit more before I just blurt into, some sort of complaint or just like, okay, kind of not really paying too much attention to it? Or could I say, you know what? I had a rough day. Here are a couple things that sucked, but look, here's some really great things that happened today. And could you change that over time where it just becomes who you are? So we look at Dalai Lama, who is, again, I feel one of the happiest guys on earth. How did he get that way? Doing the work, doing the work, doing the work. over and over again, practicing. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. um, if you would, I'm going to do a quick 5-minute meditation. Please join me. And, an interesting thing about today is I got like next to no sleep last night. I have a cold that I've been fighting or whatever. My nose is fully congested. Here's another tip. So, how do you respond or react to that? Frustrated, angry, whatever. I can't breathe through my nose. How am I going to meditate? Well, I'm going to use my mouth, which is another lesson. If you are, if you have a cold, you can use your mouth instead of your nose if you can't breathe through your nose. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I'm going to enjoy this experience. So if you would get a comfortable position, upright position, um, close your eyes. You can put your hands in your lap or on your knees. And let's go ahead and just start to breathe. As I often say, I like to take 3 deep breaths in and out to kick things off, to really set the tone. And then just go back to your regular breath. As we're talking about what's natural, negativity, positivity, that sort of thing, just know as you're meditating, you're probably going to have thoughts that arise. How do you respond to those thoughts? Positively or negatively? So here's how the conditioning works. Oftentimes, inexperienced meditators look at thoughts as a negative issue with their meditating. But I'm here to tell you that even expert meditators have thoughts. But what they do is they notice and they let them pass by like clouds in the sky. So if you have a thought arise, just notice it. You can label it a thought if you want, and just let it go. Don't judge it. Don't judge yourself. It's okay. This might be one way to start changing how you respond to things. Okay. Thank you for meditating with me today, my friend. And let's see. Looks like we had Gigi join us. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning to you. And now I challenge you to join me after our meditation for a moment of gratitude. And um, And so, what I'd like you to do is take a few moments for yourself. You can do it right now, or you can do it after the video, and think about what you're grateful for today. Here's one of the things. So, practicing gratitude, doing these videos allows me to practice gratitude publicly every week, and so that brings me joy. That brings me happiness because I really don't do it just off the cuff. I take a few moments to really think about things, and then I write them down so I recall. I share them in written form, and then I also share them in this video. It allows me to practice the positivity that I'm trying to put out into the world. And so, let's see. Gigi shares, grateful for the breath I breathe. Sitting brings me peace. Very good. Yes, that's something to be thankful for, no doubt. For me, today, I was thinking, I'm thankful, I'm lucky, and I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for her honesty and willingness to challenge me to think about my own shortcomings and where I can work on my own positivity. As I mentioned, we were talking about end of the day, how do I respond when she asks how my day goes? I could be more positive there, so that's something I'm going to work on. But I feel honored to have someone that's willing to share those thoughts so I can work on those things. And I share it with you because I think it's important to see that we're all a work in progress. uh, I have a lot of work to do. You probably have a lot of work to do. Together, we can do this work, you know, with each other, right? And the more we do that together, the more we become those innovative leaders that I was talking about earlier, and the more that we can change the world. So, anyhow, this episode is running a bit long. And because I was kind of going off the cuff to some degree to talk about this interesting topic of what is natural, negativity or positivity, and can we change that? So here's what let's see. So actually, Wax shares, I'm grateful for finding mental wellness. Amen, man. I'm so with you on that. And honestly, these are the practices that I use to help with my own mental wellness and whatnot. And so if you're watching this on the replay or anyone else watching, please share what you're grateful for in the comments. I'll be happy to respond if you're watching in the replay or share it here live. But if you struggle with being grateful, finding gratitude, I have a gratitude challenge that I share in the comments. Check that out. It's free. It's a 5-day email challenge where I guide you on different practices each day. It comes with a short, quick lesson each day, as well as 5 practices that build on each other that will help you build a gratitude practice yourself. So maybe you can do something like this in the future, once a week, or however often, daily, whatever you can do. But anyhow, if you have any questions or thoughts, I mean, if you enjoy this, give us some hearts, some pound the like button, whatever. Share it, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not if you haven't subscribed there yet, and share it with anyone that may need to hear this lesson or this thought today. And thank you so much for watching. And again, if you need to learn anything more about Hellagood Life, you can go to Hellagood.life is the website. So www.hellagood.life is where you can find more details, where we have a blog and where we have some of the courses, where you can sign up for the gratitude challenge. There's a link in the comments as well. You can do that. But feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you would. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, everyone that joined today. Wax and Gigi. And let's see. Thank you for being you, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you for riding along on the journey, because I appreciate all you're doing as well. So, yes, that's what it's all about. Appreciating each other and just being our authentic self and finding grace in that and hopefully continuing to grow. All right. Thank you for being you, Gigi. I appreciate it. Okay, my friends. So peace, love, and respect to you. You have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.